Filipino people would actually vote for you come May 10, 2010 elections, what will be your first 100 days? What will be your priority that you will do? Because I've been trying to research about your platform, but I haven't really gotten the 24-page thing.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I've been studying all of, even JC's
Platform.
yeah, Noy Noise. I already wrote something about Noy Noise.
Right.
And I was trying to write something about you.
Okay.
Because I do believe in what you're carrying,
Yes.
what you're espousing. It seems not too clear.
Okay.
Hindi pa masyadong malinaw. So
Okay.
can you
Sure. Okay. That's the surprising, Rick, Ricky, that you were not able to see the platform. It's right on the front page of our official website, homepage. I'm going to check. Something might have happened to it, so that's why you've not had access to it.
Okay.
But there are 6 pillars in what we're proposing for the new government in case I'm going to be elected as the next president of the Philippines. My number 1 priority is poverty eradication. So really drastically reducing poverty in the country. And this is not a kind of simplistic, just focus on the economic. Because poverty is not just economics. I call it the poverty complex. Because there are political, cultural, economic, societal, individual, even spiritual reasons for poverty. So for example, if we say poverty eradication and quality of life for all, what is included there is a whole range of other initiatives. For example, peace and order. So dealing with the rebellions of the NDF and CPP and PA, dealing with the MILF, dealing with terrorism, dealing with private armies. This is also part of the poverty because the poorest provinces in these countries are those provinces that have no peace, that have a lot of criminality, and it's not surprising that the Maguindanao massacre happened because, in fact, a week or two before it happened, I was in Maguindanao, and we were talking about Ampatuan. And what he has been doing is not surprising, and there are other Ampatuans and other equivalents in other provinces. So the poverty, aside from direct interventions in the agriculture sector, in the natural resources sector, Philippine poverty is 70% in the rural areas, so we have to address modernization of agriculture, all the support industries there. But we also have to manage our macroeconomic environment to encourage sustainable investors to move into the country and invest together with domestic Filipino investors. And then also part of this are the social services that government is not giving, health, education, water system, roads, and all
So it's the same as Noy Noise, Gordon's, Manny Villars,
in the
JC's platform.
No, that's just the first. This is just the first pillar.
But because everybody, yun yung palaging we address poverty, education would be the priority, economic development, etc. So what's the difference?
Okay, there are a number of differences, and I think which in a sense highlights my uniqueness among the presidential candidates. When I speak of agricultural development, I'm speaking as coming from one who's an agriculture graduate and who spent 30 years in agriculture, actually creating new farming systems. The major difference is that I'm the pioneer of organic farming, natural farming, ecological farming in the country. This is what I'll mainstream. Ecological farming, we say modernizing agriculture sustainably. For example, a lot of the yields that we are experiencing drops in yield in rice is a result of the overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So this is a differentiating factor from all the rest because none of them understand agricultural science. I do. I was trained and actually innovated and pioneered in that area for over 30 years. So it's not a kind of motherhood statement in the case. When I speak of microfinance, for example, some people are speaking, I actually helped to launch a microfinance program that reaches 250,000 people today. So this is, in a sense, when I do that, it comes from the perspective of somebody who's had an experience in that specific area. Now, let's say also corruption. You know, you cannot really modernize, have all of these expenses if the 500 billion pesos or more of government budgets being stolen. So, in my case, I spent a lot of my time since I was young fighting corruption. In fact, it's the reason why I became an activist. Because my father was unfairly charged of being corrupt by Marcos because he didn't want to get corrupted. And my father spent 2 years clearing his name. And I was seeing him through the process. And I said, what kind of government do we have? Where the best, the brightest, the most effective, and the most honest are being rewarded with corruption charges at the end of the day because they don't want to get corrupted by the leaders of the system. That turned me into an activist. And since then, I've been fighting corruption. The corruption in the Bataan nuclear power plant, involving $14 million. The corruption in the Department of Agriculture, involving billions of pesos worth of pesticides. The corruption in the Estrada government, the corruption in the Arroyo government, which we tried to actually ask her to resign. So it's, I think this, you know, your question, Rick, is very important because in the end, and I will say something more now, in these presidential law forums, forum among presidential candidates, there's a kind of learning curve. When people listen to what the audience is saying, then they start, in the next forum, they start adding.
Correct.
So what you're left here is that in the end, there will be a kind of equalizing. People saying the same things as what you're saying. And so what I'm saying to the Filipino public, take a look at the background, what people have done all these years. When they say they want to do something in an area, in their past experience, they actually demonstrate their capacity to do that. And it's the same thing with the environment. I'm unique among the presidential laws, especially for the environmental track record. In fact, I'm being labeled as a green candidate. Although I'm saying my definition of green is not just ecology, but all the rest, economics, politics that go with dealing with the environment. So my track record in the environment speaks for itself, and all the national global awards on the environment speak for itself. So I mean, that's also unique. My fourth pillar is also unique because it speaks about societal partnerships for social justice. I actually authored a book on the whole topic. This was an approach called societal threefolding, involving business, government, civil society into critical collaboration for sustainability. And this was adopted by the United Nations because I together with the Philippine delegation at the UN in 1998, introduced this approach, which is now part and parcel of the UN Millennium Development Goals as pillar number 8, which is public-private partnerships. That's unique also with me because I not only have a theoretical framework to underpin it, but actually practice it. And that work actually also led to one of the reasons why I got awarded the Alternative Nobel Prize, because of that work, because it's now had global impact. When you speak of education, I've actually started several schools. I've been training teachers. I've given workshops. So all of the 6 pillars, and the last pillar, by the way, is mainstreaming positive alternatives. Identifying all the different exciting things going on around the country and mainstreaming them. I tried to do this in 2005 and 2006. We organized the National Karangalan Conference, highlighting Filipino national and global excellence.